Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, based on that. So we are good to start today's topic, right? Am I audible properly? Shall we start?
Hello. Yeah.
I think you joined from
Yeah.
Yeah, now it is okay. Yeah, fine, great. Thank you and welcome, Ramesh ji. Yeah, so yesterday we have understood how is the beam of awareness can be of help when we want to intensify our attention and awareness, right? So beam of attention or beam of awareness. This is a tiny anchor, I would say, to increase the attention span whenever we want to increase it. So let's use it in the way that it is serving our purpose. Whenever the mind goes little chaos, but we have a lot of things to do, quickly create this anchor. Imagine that the beam of awareness or beam of attention, beam of light is coming from your eyes and getting focused and getting kind of focused on the object where we have all the work to be done. So the focus will be only on the object which we are currently working or which we want to accomplish. That way we will be using the beam of awareness. And that is a circle of excellence zone. So there is another technique of NLP that we can use, the circle of excellence. You can see that beam of awareness, inside that there is no noise admitted. The noises are also two types. One is internal, external, and another is emotional. So physical noise and emotional noise is kind of not allowed in the circle of awareness or in the attention of the beam of attention. Then we discussed yesterday about these two type of distractions, that is the sensory distraction and emotional distraction that we have already completed. Now coming to this slide, I think we have not discussed this one, right? Okay, we have discussed it. Yeah, the internal hijack of emotional distraction. Have we discussed this one? I think yes. You are in the middle of leading a critical update, but your mind goes blank and is reflexively pulled away because you just received a cryptic text from your partner saying we need to talk.
Yeah.
That is a ignored sensory noise by the emotional trigger. So the theme here is we need to understand that the physical distractions are easy to avoid, but we need to actually be a little more pro to deal emotional distractions. And we have the agenda of discussing few techniques where the spirituality might not be coming into picture, but still we should be able to handle it. That we will be doing on Saturday. Yeah. This also is a good line actually to remember. Our brain lacks an automatic mute button for these powerful emotional charge signal. Now coming to the next slide, this is a very interesting slide. The evolutionary drive of worry, fight or flight mode. Yeah. So let's understand what is it about. Intrusive emotional thoughts barge into our conscious mind forcefully because of deeply ingrained evolutionary survival mechanisms. Our brain is biologically hardwired to relentlessly force us to solve whatever it perceives as a threat to our safety or stability. Therefore, worry is not a flaw in our mental software. It is an alarm system demanding that a problem need to be resolved. And we can relate it to the ancient time, right? In the ancient time, the predators are too vulnerable, and everyone need to be very, the human being of that time, those times actually, they need to be very much alert. Any kind of danger, whenever their sensory organs see, then their internal mechanism is tuned in such a way that need to do they need to either fight or flight. They need to come to a fight or flight mode. That means either a fight with the danger and get the danger signal completely wiped out of the situation, or flight, run away. But now, in the current context, what is happening? In the current context, there are no predators. There are no dangers. How it used to be in those times. But the smaller arguments, or the small kind of emotional turbulence that happens because of the interpersonal issues, they are also kind of a trigger. Now, this biological trigger, this outside emotional disturbance triggers the biological alarm in the same way how it used to trigger in the previous age, and that's where actually all the stress hormones get uh, activated. So as the stress hormones get activated again, we will be automatically move ourselves to a fight or flight mode, whereas it is definitely not needed. And if we constantly keep ourselves in this fight or flight mode, that means in stressful situation, then most of our harmonical balance, right, they will be disturbed. And obviously, this is also another reason as to why the current age human being is facing a lot of health diseases. So it is, again, we need to make our emotional system understand what is the real danger and where actually we need not to, or we must not stressed out. Uh, so the practical scenario, if we discuss, then it is lying awake at 2 a.m., stressing over a depleted bank account. Is your brain treating a modern financial worry with the same urgency as a prehistoric predator outside your cave? It is demanding an immediate survival strategy. Another situation actually we have, it's been demonstrated. Lying awake at 2 a.m., even maybe due to the share market crash or something, if the person is not able to digest and not getting sleep, then it is definitely due to the survival mechanism of the body, which is kind of triggered. But definitely that should not happen. Otherwise, this is not a actual danger. It has gone down. It will come up. Who knows? And even if we are worrying, also, is there any good that can the worry produce? Definitely not. Coming to the next slide, crossing the threshold from fruitless to productive worry. Okay, this is what actually is the way to deal with it. So whenever threat is getting detected, okay, so we need to have another anchor here. Okay, how? Let's see the deep dive. The critical dividing line between paralyzing fruitless worry and highly productive reflection lies in our ability to reach a conclusion. It lies completely with the ability to reach a conclusion. So, what kind of reflection we do, what kind of meaning making we do, or we completely skip the meaning making and fall into the default mode, that determines which switch actually will be kind of turned on, right? Like, to disarm the brain's evolutionary alarm system, we must successfully formulate a tentative solution to the perceived threat. Tentative solution to the perceived threat. Once that provisional plan is established, we earn the neural permission to finally let the intrusive thought go. This is a very good mechanism. And what exactly we need to do? We need to put a barrier actually in between. So whenever threat is getting detected, immediately we cannot actually make our mind assure that this threat is different, very different from the predator's kind of threat, but we can create a solution. That time there was no way to create a solution, so fight and flight mode was quite obvious and there was no option. But now we can create a tentative solution, and that tentative solution will be an assurance to the mind that yes, now we are in control, I am in control, and I should not switch on the fire and flight mode. So that way, the thought released productive reflection. So what could be a practical scenario? Instead of endlessly agonizing over a missed deadline, fruitless worry, you draft a brief apology email with a revised timeline, and that is a tentative solution that we are telling to our mind or giving to the mind. That's a tentative solution. And that immediately allow our brain to drop the stress and refocus on the work at hand. Or if we are sleeping, then also we can get the sleep. So the normal mode will be activated when we give a tentative solution to the brain. And we are very innovative, believe or not. Our mind is very innovative in creating the solution, finding out the solution, much more better than creating a problem or perceived problem. Mind is very, we think that mind is only good at creating negative thoughts, negative projections and all, but mind is equally good in creating the positive thoughts, positive solutions, and focus on the positivity. It's just that what kind of training we have given to our mind, that determines where exactly as of now our mind is. If we train a little bit to our mind, again it will shift its it will shift its focus again back to the normal mode of operation. Is it clear up to here?
Yeah. Yes, Vikaji. Yeah, very beautiful slides.
Yeah. So we need to be very careful actually. Unknowingly, at times we go to this fight or flight mode. That is also called as sympathetic mode of execution. We need to be more in the parasympathetic mode of execution. So we need to, let's not only kind of be mindful, but also to our family member also, we can explain this in a practical manner that how by being in stressful situation, our body is becoming producing a lot of unwanted chemicals which are like slow poison, toxins. So Milindi, just to kind of give one quick nudge, this is also another way by which we can deal or we can become more resilient, emotionally resilient, without bringing the spirituality, a spiritual concept into picture.
Yeah. No, I agree. I treat this diagram because Ramesh is it's like the top one, which is the endless loop, is like a snake and ladder. It is like snake, and ladder is where you always find out the solution. So that is how I see this diagram. And when you say about the predators, it is still this is the case nowadays as well. My wife is very afraid of dogs. And other day
Mm,
when we were traveling through train,
mm,
there is one guy. He came with two big pit bull dogs. Okay, those are very scary and very big, and they are chained in a very big thick chain. Two of them.
mm,
Okay, and
mm,
they came into our bogie, in our this thing, and definitely my wife got panicked, and we actually just change the compartment. Yeah,
mm,
but that guy with the dogs, he's upset by our behavior. Other passengers were good, but those two dogs were so huge and so this thing, so for them, the owner, they are just
mm.
their babies, their dog, but for us
Yeah.
it is threatening. So those
Mm,
situations are still there.
mm,
One day I was when walking to the beach, there was some teenagers from some other country. They visited to our place, and one of the guy, he was actually mimicking me while I'm doing the walk, and all his girlfriends and friends at the back, they are all laughing. So it was very uncomfortable feeling that I was actually on my walk,
mm,
morning walk, and he is
mm,
just by my side mimicking exactly the way I am walking, the way I am this thing and all that. And I was literally this thing, and all others are laughing that time. And then what I did, I just stopped and I starting talking to him, saying that you are from which country, because that was tourist place. Yeah. And then he got friendly and this and that. But those 5 minutes are really hell for me, because it's not good situation to be in. But now what's happened is that whenever I see this type of group in London in the street, there are many so it triggers that kind of response. So yeah, so I automatically remember that memory. But as you mentioned, it is a habit, it is a practice that you have to go from the ladder path. Find
yes,
out the solution there and there, instead of going into panic mode. So yeah,
exactly.
the survival mechanism is still there. Yes, we are in AI generation and technology world, but those threats are always there, and your brain automatically thinks for the safety. So yeah,
Yes, yes,
so it is a habit, it is a practice actually. You need to do for small things, and it helps you when the big situation comes.
correct.
Something big
Exactly.
happens, it automatically triggers in because you're practiced in that way.
Exactly.
Big,
So
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
if you see the diagram, no,
yeah,
and let's put your situation in this diagram. It is very
yes,
clearly we can actually
yeah,
model it. The
yeah,
threat detected when your emotional trigger actually kind of fired, and you are not feeling
yeah,
comfortable when someone has started mimicking you.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you have two choices: either you go on endless worry
yeah,
or endless stress and tension or
yeah,
something, or
yeah,
you created a solution, a
yeah,
temporary tentative solution
yeah,
to start talking with him,
yeah,
and he became friendly, and kind of the situation actually been
yeah,
stabilized and
neutralize, yeah, yeah,
neutralized. And then you have kind of the next step. Actually, what you can do is you can do a productive reflection. Kind of now, whatever we have done, that's also productive reflection. We remember the kind of the scenario, earlier scenario,
yeah,
and we related that the same trigger is because of that memory, the same trigger is still firing whenever you see similar kind of gangs
yeah,
in
crowds,
other
yeah,
parts
yeah,
of UK. Now,
yeah,
the productive reflection, what we did, we have understood that the tentative solution that we have created will definitely work. And
yeah,
what you believe, because you are very close to that situation, at least have one or two more tentative solutions ready, so that if
yeah,
one such solution is not working, which
yeah,
other solution you can immediately deploy. On
yeah,
the spot,
absolutely,
you may or may not get another solution, but
yeah,
yeah, if you are prepared, well prepared by productive reflection, you do the productive reflection, and if you are prepared, then definitely you will be able to deal with those kind of situations very effectively.
yeah, yeah, agree, thank you,
So
yeah,
this kind of this is one of the framework which we can use and make sure that our emotional triggers, for whichever reason, be it in family also, sometimes interpersonal relation actually goes for a toss,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
we end up with argument. So let's not leave that situation at that very moment, but
hmm,
we need to go a little deeper and do this analysis. What is the tentative solution I could have created at that very moment, and which other tentative solutions I will be creating and deploying whenever next I will be facing such kind of issues, instead of being emotionally disturbed, so that I can completely focus my attention on the task at hand. And that is the way whereby we can actually tame our uh, attention, emotional the distraction we can tame, or we can actually get rid of the emotional distraction. Right, and a lot of energy also gets kind of depleted if we are not able to do this. So it's really a good one. Actually, we have not only read, but we have modeled with some practical scenarios so that
Yeah.
it is easier for each of us to do such exercise and make use of all the mistakes or all the emotional disturbances into a productive way of dealing it in future. Such kind of situations will be completely kind of mind has a solution
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have time, right? Okay, let's take this. How many slides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, cannot finish. We cannot finish, but let's take this one slide. Emotional immunity as the shield of focus. Okay, I think we have discussed, but let's see. The deep dive is those who achieve the highest level of focus possesses a trait known as relative immunity to emotional turbulence. Strong, sustained attention strictly requires the neural capacity to inhibit and regulate disruptive emotions. This is actually a very good one. I'm reading it again. Those who achieve the highest levels of focus possess a trait known as relative immunity to emotional turbulence. Relative immunity to emotional turbulences. Strong, sustained attention strictly requires the neural capacity to inhibit and regulate disruptive emotions. Ultimately, if we cannot protectively manage our baseline anxiety, we cannot effectively manage our attention span. So, it is almost something which we have already discussed. The same thing actually in a very better vocabulary actually been kind of explained. But if anyone wants to add anything for this particular slide, then feel free to add. It's like this is also an anchor. We can treat this as an anchor. This is a shield, right? In war,
Yes. Yeah.
ancient
Yeah.
war, ancient time they used to
Yeah. It should. Yeah.
use it as a shield. So it's like this emotion. This shield is completely so strong that the sustained attention are completely preserved inside, and where the anxiety and turbulences are coming and getting bounced back. Right. So I'm in circle of excellence, and my emotional regulation system is so strong that no emotional turbulence is possible inside it, and sustained attention I am enjoying flow in a flow state effortlessly. Right. One practical scenario we will discuss, that is two executives face the same company-wide budget cut. The one with high emotional immunity acknowledges the stress, but compartmentalizes it to finish a vital pitch, while the other loses the entire afternoon to panic. When the company-wide budget cut happens, it is for everyone. But one took it very seriously and personally, and lost the entire afternoon, or who knows how many days also after that. It could be possibly kind of gone. Right? But the other person who is having emotional resilience, that emotional immunity help the that person to deal the situation in a very proper manner. What is the time now? Okay, we thought of making 15 minutes, so it's okay. From here, we will be continuing tomorrow. Fine?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is about selective attention as the targeted beam. Okay, we have discussed kind of this beam. We will discuss little more on this particular thing, how we can practically use it in upcoming sessions.
It's especially
Yeah.
useful when singing because I've sung in a choir.
Uh-huh.
So this is very useful when you have to sing only your part and not the other person's part.
Yeah, yeah, true. So um, focusing on our own part and not
Hmm.
seeing others' mistake and others' doings are
Yeah,
also a way by which actually we keep our emotional stability intact,
yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
thank
because
you.
thanks. Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you,
for the
Prakash.
presentation. Because I'm going through the YouTube's videos again and again. I'm putting the comments there. Ramesh,
Yeah,
do read
nice.
the comments because I
Yeah,
really
I
love
will.
the videos and content which we are doing.
Yes,
So we'll
yes.
go after the whole series what we are started for focus as well as the Saturday sessions. They're actually
Hmm.
profound. Like I mentioned that in a group as well. Like because this the slides which he prepared and the information he's giving is par from the book actually. Otherwise, book you
Uh,
just lost in that 300 pages
Yeah.
without just 2 or 3 inputs. Whereas here we are actually taking the quirks out of book. I read the book actually twice, so I know. So it's good, really
uh,
good. I'm just taking my own notes and sharing with you all in a group. So fantastic,
hmm.
awesome. And
Thank
it
you. Thank you
actually
so
helps
much.
me a lot. It actually helps me for to set my day, on the right foot, on the right knowledge. Yeah,
Because it's
it's
morning for
helping
you,
me.
so it is
Yes,
like
exactly.
great
Exactly.
great way of
Yeah.
starting the day. That is also true.
Yes,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
exactly.
thank you also for giving the practical scenarios so that it is
Yeah,
more
there is a
enhanced.
lot. There is a
You can
lot. Definitely,
relate to it.
as time comes, I will share. Like
Yeah.
tomorrow, event. Just give me time. Like one of those this thing, like what you discussed in previous slide. I will give very practical and scientific example of emotional disturbances and how to control that. I like that example very much. It is scientific. Since I'm an engineer, those type of example really hits you, and you
Yeah.
just believe on that one, and it helps to then understand. Just keep yourself away from emotional. I will share that to you tomorrow. Okay, with you all. Okay,
Right,
it is
right.
Sure,
very
sure.
scientific. It helped me, and again, it stuck within while watching one of the scientific documentary. I will give you the example. I said, "Oh, this is exactly how your mind works," and it helped me for last many years. I will share that this thing tomorrow. Yeah, that
Okay,
Sure,
thank
example.
you,
sure.
Milinji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is based on the previous slide because which you showed. Okay, but I will explain
Sure.
you with scientific example. Okay, there
Sure,
is a
sure.
science behind it, and it really helped. I said, fantastic. I need to watch those type of documentaries. Science based because of engineering background. You believe on those science
Yeah,
concept
even I also like
immediately,
that is why I prepared this
immediately.
kind of
Yes, I
scientific.
love. That's why I love. That's why I love this slide because it gives you that perspective. Scientific
Yeah,
because we have
it's
learned
very,
whole education. We are referred to this type of diagrams, right?
yeah,
So it
Yeah.
helps
mechanical.
actually to relate to the concept. That's the idea. The things which
True.
you already know, just build the knowledge on top of it. That's the beauty of these slides. You know.
Yeah, I know. I was just
Yeah, yeah.
observing all the slides. They look very mechanical engineering.
Yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. But since we have done the circuits, etc.,
Yes, correct.
all those the
Yes.
mechanical diagram drawings,
I
etc.
can
So it
relate to it
really,
very easily. Yeah,
yes, yeah,
as a
yeah, yeah,
designer.
yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. That's the
Actually,
beauty.
this entire series of discussions that we've had this week and last was perfectly pertaining to me. So I really felt like the universe was talking to me through this.
Yeah, yeah.
I need
Again, gain a
to
lot, gain a lot.
align
Yeah,
my
yeah.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole I will discuss with you later. Like I know these slides are not reaching to the mass people. I understand that, but definitely we need to do something on this one. Like like coming up
Yeah.
something book and all that. These are my wild idea, but definitely
Yeah.
we can work together and come up with
Through
because
through video anyway, it is reaching to the mass also.
yes, it
The
is reaching.
videos
It is reaching. I'm not
I
saying
am
no.
making it
Definitely,
public,
I have
the
that.
video
yeah.
record, so
No, no, no. It's
everyone
good.
can kind
Really
of
good.
get the benefit of
Really
out
good.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's okay if I share all those videos. Yeah, it's all good, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please feel free
Okay,
to
yeah.
share the
I'll do that.
videos.
That was
I'll
very
do that.
cooling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
Maybe
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Mega 26 group also, and if
Yes,
they
I
want,
have. That is, there are few groups groups which I joined. Like Meherno sir group. There is the two particular groups. So yes,
yeah,
that is what
yeah.
I'm asking you now.
Maybe in
Yesterday,
Yes
actually, I
Universe
was.
also.
Yeah, there are multiple groups where this because they need this information. There are people who are really focused on this thing. And whole idea is I'm going to bring those to this reading and our main group. So I will
Yeah,
start sharing this some of the slides and this thing and asking them to join in our reading. I think definitely few people will join and let them come and see na what we are doing. Hai na? That's
yeah.
the idea. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah. We are not forcing anyone, but yeah, whatever the best, yes, we need to give it to the world. You know.
sure.
Yeah, that's the idea. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.